All right, we are here live in Toledo, Ohio, at the Toledo Game Room. I am John from Team Bad Decisions. We are here with Joe and Randy, the tournament organizers for Buckeye Battles. And first off, I would like to say thank you, gentlemen, for running this event.
No problem.
And this is pretty much the last event of 8th edition.
Yep.
And first off, tell us about your event and amount of players and how long you guys have been running and stuff like that. So I'll turn it over to you guys for right now.
So Buckeye Battles, first and foremost, was a Warhammer 40,000 or Warhammer Fantasy event run by Jeff Parkhurst. And as the GW scaled back the Warhammer Fantasy for Age of Sigmar, a lot of people kind of got out of the game because they didn't want to go with that direction. So to kind of fill some of the spots, because they were used to have like 150 people, and they kind of went down to like 80, 90. So I was like, hey, let me run an event over the weekend. So we did start running 40K. So I've been running it since about 2015, 2016. Randy's pretty much been my helper almost the whole time, my right-hand man, so to say. And then we've just been doing that. So our Friday events, we kind of flip-flopped a little bit. I think we tried a friendly 40K, small point values, no characters and all that stuff. And then as the editions have changed, our Friday event is very much still friendly. There's this year was each person could take a detachment. They couldn't duplicate detachments except a battalion. It was 1,000 points a person.
A team event this year too. So
Right. So Friday was a team event, and it has been the last couple of years now. So Friday's always been now become our team event, which we are big on hobby. So it's not just you're going to win based by wreck and face with battle points. That is part of it, but your sportsmanship during the game, your painted army, a theme, or display. So we really kind of put all of that together. So our overall winner is the person that played well, was great at playing, that people enjoyed playing those games, and then they had a great looking army. Which
encompasses every part of the hobby.
Right. Very good. Yeah. You know what? It's good because some people go to events and they just want to dick stomp people.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's great to have events that incorporate all of that into your scores because in most tournaments you have events for best general, who gets the most battle points, but it's like it's good to have events that incorporate all of the hobby in all of it.
And we kind of came up through the bolt guns system, Alan Blunt and bolt gun battles, and that's very much a hobby event. And the emphasis again was on, kind of like the old grand tournaments that GW used to run.
Art boys.
Well, even before then, like in the early 2000s, they used to have the grand tournaments in Chicago, and if you were the best sport or if you had the best display and pay an army, you were the superstar. The best general, you may as well have hung a sign around your neck that said, I was the biggest asshole here. Because, like I said, the superstars were the soft score folks. And Alan, kind of coming out of that back then when he worked for GW, kind of instilled that in the games and instilled that in us.
Okay, so we all know that COVID's a thing. And this is really, as far as I know, at least I'm from Northwest Indiana myself, so as far as I know, this has been the only event that has been around, at least in the Mid-Great Lakes area. I don't know if you guys have known of any other events, but...
yeah, so, normally we're just north of Columbus in Delaware, the city of Delaware, at Ohio Wesleyan University. Obviously, with COVID being there and school being shut down, initially we were told, because we're almost always the weekend after the 4th of July, wherever that falls. If it falls on that weekend, then we're the following weekend. So we're almost always that following weekend after the 4th of July. COVID has obviously put a damper on that. We couldn't use the university. We couldn't, the deadline they gave us that we might be able to use it is August 2nd, and now we know things have changed. So we don't know when they're going to be able to use that facility again. So Jeff Parkhurst, like I said, the primary organizer, he runs other events up here at the Toledo Game Room. He runs Strength in Numbers. So he got on the horn to the owners here of Darrell and them and said, hey, can we use your facility? And they were gracious enough to let us do that. So today we had 12 teams. Everyone showed up, even a couple that had some card difficulties, missed the first round, but our ringer played until they could get here. And then right now, tomorrow, we're sitting at 35 people. We were 36, but one just dropped. So we're 35 with a ringer. So
And so, just for people out there that are not, that are kind of scared about coming back to tournaments like this, what have you guys done here at Buckeye Battles to let the gamers know that, hey, we're running a safe, a way for you to not be. I mean, it's up to the people again.
Right.
If you're afraid to come out, don't come out. But as I've been on the Facebook page and noticing that you guys have done. So, what have you guys done here to make gamers feel safe and?
Well, I'm at risk because I have diabetes, and I clear this with my doctor. But one of the things is masks are mandatory. You have to have a mask.
ours are right here, by the way. We just took them off for the interview.
Just
Just so everybody knows, we got mine right there too.
But we're also taking people's temperatures at the door as they come in, and if they leave to go to lunch, we check them again. We're trying to practice social distancing with the spacing of the tables. We probably have, 5 or 6 huge bottles of hand sanitizer, and we're encouraging people to use that. So, I mean, we're trying to take as many precautions as we can because, not everybody feels comfortable, like you say, coming out. But we hope that the people that are here can see that and see that, they've gone to these, this level of care and maybe, take that and go someplace else and run an event where they do the same sorts of things.
Right.
And have these sets of precautions.
I mean, I think we see it right now. We don't know when COVID's going away in terms of feeling some resemblance of normal. And we all know that we're not going to have the old normal we had before COVID. There's going to be changes even once we start moving forward. So, we really want to instill that, we're taking precautions, but, what I told the group here in the team event today when we were closing is I appreciate them coming out. It felt really good to sit there and watch people with a little bit of change, still throw dice and have a good time and maybe have a little bit of normalcy back in their life with everything going on with hectic and not knowing what's going on in our world, especially here in the United States where there's just so much going on that, sometimes it can be overwhelming. So it was not just really great to see people enjoying playing the game of 40K. And this will be our last 8th event. As we all know, 9th is quickly on our heels. As a matter of fact, it's the Indominus box gets released next week for most of us.
So due to COVID, and I hate talking about COVID, but it's a thing that we have to know.
Yeah.
Did you see? This is my first ever Buckeye Battles. So again, thank you guys for having the event. And have you guys seen a decline in the amount of participants? Are you guys usually over 100? Is this usually the average that you guys are seeing?
We're a little below average.
Yeah.
I mean, due to space constraints, the most we could have for the 2-day GT would be usually 50. The team event, whether it was a singles friendly Friday friendly or the doubles events, we've probably averaged for the
10 to 12 teams.
10 to 12 teams.
Yeah, that's really.
We haven't seen much decline. Jeff is probably the ninth age side is where we've seen the biggest decline. I think they had 82, 90 people last year, and this year
they were
I think
just under
27.
100. They were just under 100 last year, and then not all the guys, but most of the individuals that come to play Ninth Age are of the older crowd because they grew up playing Warhammer Fantasy and they just want to keep that alive. So
I love square bases.
So they most of them are older, so they do fall in that at-risk category. So there were a lot of concerns, and they're about a quarter of what they usually are. For the
Is
event.
there any other events running beside? You said you got Ninth Age, and obviously you got the GT tomorrow. Is there any other events that typically that have been on Buckeye Battles before that maybe didn't get happen because of the space and restraints? And
No, it's pretty much 40K and Fantasy or Ninth Age, depending on.
Because some events run X-wing. They have like X-wing because X-wing you can small downsize X-wing. Again, this is my first time here, so that's why I'm.
No, I'm excited for next year. I know right now, knowing that the recommended board size for 40K is getting a little smaller. I think one that helps us to have some fun games at home, and we don't have to have that big table. I mean, it's just a little bit, but that matters.
Are you guys going to go down to next year? Are you guys going to probably just go down to the 44 by 60?
Initially, right now, my thought is yes, because that's kind of, from what I'm seeing, how the designers of the game have put it there.
I don't want to do it. 4x6 for life.
I know. Well, I mean, you guys aren't going to cut down your mats or nothing like that, right?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, my initial thought right now is I really, what I've seen from people play testing the game and playing it, from what we know right now, is the games play quicker. There's a lot more engagement. Close combat is not dead. by what
I play orcs. I better not have close combat.
Right.
I mean, this has like been a shooting edition for
Right.
8th. Is actually makes orcs a better shooting edition than they are melee edition.
So I think we're going to see some stuff there, and as we see the actual codexes that are going to line up with 9th start coming out, I think we'll start to see really where their design's going.
Do you guys play as well as just run? What kind of armies do you guys play? And
I'm a big Xenos guy, so I've right now my current armies are Harlequins, Eldar, and Necrons. But I've had Tau armies, I've had Dark Eldar. But my son, he's 10, he's just getting into it. So of course the first army he wanted to pick was a Marine army, but not any Marine army. He picked Death Watch, the Xenos killing army.
Oh boy!
So
there's been a lot of dad and son battles there.
There's been a little bit of hostility in our house.
Son, if you roll a 6, you're going grounded for a week, right?
And I play guard, 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 guard.
Are you going through all the regiments of guard?
A little bit of Dark Angels and Iron Warriors.
So you're talking like you have each one of the major guard regiments, and then Death Corps Krieg.
Well,
and then
yeah, I have 7 guard armies, which I feel like a terrible person for.
I have.
They're all half painted and half assembled.
I literally have probably 6 to 8,000 points in orcs.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know why.
I want to do orcs, but that's the I got 6. I'm gonna wake up one day and have 8,000 points of orcs. Like, where the hell did all these come from?
They multiply. It's spores.
Yeah.
It's spores. But for the tournament players, what made you guys decide to use the ITC? Was it just simple? Do you guys previously use those at previous?
So
TCs?
this, like, I know last year we kind of incorporated some of the ITC stuff in there. So like, blocking line of sight on first floor, some of those things. We didn't take everything in. But this year for the team event we brought some of the stuff over, but tomorrow's event will be full ITC. And one of the reasons why we kind of moved that way is knowing that like Reese and some of the other guys with the ITC really had an influence in 9th edition in terms of what the tournament scene is going to be for missions and somehow their games are going, and we can see that from the games now where it's not so much killy. It's a lot of moving and playing chess with how you're going to move and hold objectives.
You don't have to kill, hold,
Right.
get points. You can,
Right.
and like some of the things like engage. You can, if you watch the 9th edition report, engage in all fronts. It's just recon.
Right.
It's just modified recon and.
But I think too, like they've always been kind of on top of it for common sense rules, especially with tournament play because. The old joke from back in the day, I've been playing since Rogue Trader, was if you want to break the game, give it to the Americans and the Italians. And we do. We rules lawyer and pick on the minutiae, and it's been like, well, that's what the rule says, but is that really what it means?
Rules as written versus rules as intended.
Right. Exactly. And with the ITC is the structure that they are, them making the decisions like, can't shoot through the first floor, or even the flyer decision where you can't land on the edge of this iPad and call it cover and things like that. Having a governing body like that in place to make those decisions makes our job as TOs.
And I think you see some of that because not the rules group for 9th really looked at. So now we see that rule, but then we see the bullet point that really clarifies what their design intent was. So I mean, we always know there's going to be that gray area where something's just not clear on the errata or FAQ it. But I think right now, looking at what we know from what's been released in the books and having the chance to look at some of the Indominus boxes and looking at the book in there is, we really got a good direction from where we came from on 8th to clean it up for 9th. And then, some of the stuff that, remember my favorite thing right now was actually being able to see tanks blow up on a 6 because you're not going to be able to re-roll that on a command point anymore.
Yeah.
So
now the Alpha Legion feel kind of cheated now with the strat, because now but they still blow up on 3s if you play the Alpha Legion. Looking forward to next year. We will kind of fast forward. Are you going to continue to play here, or are you going to try to get back to? We know that the world or the U.S. is we're in a state of flux.
Right.
Cases spiking, cases diminishing. Are you guys looking back next year to go back to try to go to your original venue, or are you going to try to keep it here? It's great for me here. It was only about a 3.5 hour drive on the toll road, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I quite frankly, I really don't know. My initial thoughts would be to continue to stay with that because with here in Toledo and there in Delaware at Ohio Wesleyan University, in Ohio Wesleyan, the only thing we pay is insurance for the university to make sure people there are covered. So that's our only fee there. So it gives us the ability to put a lot of money. Again, with numbers being down this year, we usually provide lunch every single day.
I noticed lunch. I noticed the lunch wasn't provided on the schedule, but I was like, well, most tournaments don't provide lunch anyways. I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean that's been one of our things is usually our price tag for the GTs are $50 a person, and that includes lunch every day, whether it's a sub, whether that's pizza. We get it that way. Obviously, this year with just the numbers to really try to make sure we're still putting some support out there for people to win some stuff. Is we had to pull that away, and we did drop the fees down just because money's tight for a lot of people from the 50 to the 30.
I was like, when I said $30, that's a great fee.
Yeah.
That's a great entrance
And
fee.
the team event this year, that's normally like $30 a team, and it was $10 a team, so we knocked some money off.
And
there.
I noticed coming in, you had some nice door and raffle prizes, which is great because
so
we all like plastic. We all like plastic.
Well,
crap.
I think that's been a change for our side this year. The ninth age has been really good about doing the raffles with their box and prize support. We've been one where if you won an award, you're not eligible for anything on our prize table. So in talking it over, we'd have people that are like, we'd call a name and then we'd call the next name, and then that person would beat them up based on where they were standing. So instead of getting that thing they knew they wanted, now they're getting the unit that they don't need. So to change it up this year, we did everyone got 3 raffle tickets as part of their entrance. So they got to put 3 tokens in any one of the buckets that we had. We had, a prophecy of the wolf, right?
Yeah, prophecy
which
of the wolf.
you can't get anymore. So
that shows, from I assume that came from the store is.
So we have a couple stores that help support us. We Hobby Central in
Please give them
Delaware.
shout-outs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hobby
Hobby
Central in
Central.
Delaware. The Toledo Game Room worked with us.
Yeah.
What's Dale's store's name?
Oh my gosh, Dale's gonna hit me. Dale Dominguez has a store in Idaho, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Oh wow.
And the name, he's originally from the Central Ohio area.
Okay.
And he donates every year. He's played in the event. He's actually made it back here a few times.
Yeah,
but
so we got a lot of people involved that help really give us some donations. Dale, he's got on his phone to look. So if you see this, he's trying to figure it out because he's an asshole and didn't remember.
I am.
But no, so we really got a lot of partners in this that really help us really try to get a lot of product out there for you. So, I mean, like with that on the raffle tickets.
Real Deal Tabletop is the name of the store
There you
in
go.
Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
There you go.
Is there going to be different? I saw the door prizes today. Is there going to be different door prizes for the GT?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's different stuff tomorrow. So generally, like in our event, for the team event, we give out for best overall. So that's the best, all the points figured together because like I said, we're hobbyists, so it's just not battle. So your paint score, your sports score, all that gets added in there. So that would in there. Normally we would have a best general, which then is the person with the highest battle points. And again, with the money situation for the team event, to be able to put some more stuff in to get more plaques for our GT, I ended up cutting that plaque out this year. So I already told the guys that wanted this year from Death or Glory, right?
Death or Glory.
Death or Glory. So I'm gonna really try to make it up to them next year when hopefully we're in a better spot and get those ordered for them then.
And then you got pretty much the same awards for the GT.
Yeah. So the GT, and then so our big 3 are always best overall, best appearance, and best sports. Those are ones I think if you win any of them at one of our events, you either played really well, you had a great looking army and other people liked it, or you were just a fabulous person to play all day to get because you got the highest sports vote. Not only did you get just in your sportsman for the game, you got the highest vote, but when people went back and said, what was your favorite game, they got the votes for continually being your favorite game.
So I noticed in the soft score when I was reading the file that you guys uploaded that you actually give it points for stories.
Yeah.
For narrative, which I don't. I've seen some events. I don't even remember if Adepticon GTs. Now that's something different. I actually had to think about that this week and come up with that. So that's now. Hopefully it's just like a paragraph. I did write my stuff in Orc, so
That's
I wasn't
great.
gonna write it in glyphs because you guys didn't be able to.
And that kind of goes back to the hobbyist stuff we were talking about, because if your display and your story match, you have a theme. I think that makes some of the funnest games because you have sort of an idea where that army needs to go and what it needs to do because of that theme and that story. I just think it adds to the game. Maybe that's just my weird fetish. I don't know, but
No, no, that's actually something fun because I was reading that. I had to read that twice on the soft score file. I was like, you need a story? Oh, well, I don't want to lose 3 points, so I want to write myself a little story, and I kind of fit for myself personally, I kind of fit my story into my army. So, I kind of just I'm like, how am I going to fit this army into my fit my little paragraph army I've got into the actual models that I'd actually bring. So that was very nice. I want to thank you guys for that. That was very very nice. I didn't bring any themed things for my army though, but I do have some.
Well, I mean,
guys.
like some of the stuff we stole from it. I mean, we'll blatantly call it out. We stole the stuff from Adepticon. It was like, if you've ever been to Adepticon, you know that the players will hand you.
It's literally my backyard.
Yeah. Guys will give you dice, or they may have
That's
the
why
one group
or drinks.
Yeah, the Tiki Gods the one year. We're giving out the Tiki glasses, and it's just that to me adds to the fun of the event because you're meeting cool new people.
Too much Tiki juice.
The Tiki juice.
Oh.
But like you got your Team Bad Decision shirt, having a uniform. Yeah. That kind of swag that you just hand out to your opponent. You're like, hey, cool. Have these dice. This we had the bolt guns and then later the model citizen dice.
Oh, nice.
So to me that just makes as a player to receive that stuff and that kind of well, that's cool. This dude didn't have to do this, but look what they did. To me that makes the game a better game.
I totally agree with that. And we've already been 20 minutes. I don't want to keep you guys because you guys have been busy all day. So I would like to thank Joe and Randy from Buckeye Battles. And, I'll probably do a late game recap tomorrow of how bad I'm getting my butt kicked tomorrow. So, thank you guys again, and I'm looking forward to your GT tomorrow.
Anytime.
Hey, we tell the rest of the Team Bad Decisions who didn't make it that we love them.
You may call them out, and you may call them all out and call them.
Because,
Ken, we needed more catechins here. Seriously.
Actually, someone here had more tanks than you. I know that's hard to believe in your list.
Yeah.
So there was one other guy, but our Nurgle player, he dropped out because he just didn't have time.
It's understandable.
But no, I'm a little upset you guys didn't come back on my return after I died and came back.
Twice. He died twice.
So here I am, and you guys aren't here.
Again, thank you, and shame on all the rest of your team for not coming out. I drove from Indiana, which is further than you guys from Michigan. Anyways, this is good. John from Team Bad Decisions, and we're looking forward to the GT tomorrow. Thank you, guys.
Have a good one.